Hello, welcome back to the Jet Press Podcast. My name is Justin Fried, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friend Mike Luciano. Mike, training camp is just about here, and we are going to do our little training camp preview. How you doing, buddy? How's it going on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon?
Well, you got lucky with beautiful. I got a flood warning over by
Oh
me
my
the other
God.
day, so yeah.
Whoa, it is. I mean, it's partly cloudy outside. I would say it's nice and hot out though.
I don't know what happened. Ever since I moved back a little bit down south, that suddenly I live in like the tropics now, where it's just thunderstorms all the time.
Sounds like
I've had 3 like flood warnings since I moved in July.
I think that's your fault. It sounds like that's what it is.
Yeah, I forget Josh Donaldson. I am the true bringer of rain. So that was his nickname.
Oh, why?
I don't know. He brought rain. I don't know.
What does that even mean? Why was that his nickname?
Bombs, thunder. I don't know, but.
What?
Because he hits home runs, the baseball player, Josh Donaldson.
How do you go from home run to bomb to rain?
To thunder to rain to...
That's too many degrees of separation.
Yeah, there's too many, yeah.
That's too much work.
There may even be some other explanation. I just remember Bringer of Rain was his Twitter for
now I'm looking at
a long time. It's probably going to be something like, oh, I got called that when I was 9 or something like that, but...
Josh Donaldson, Bringer of Rain, why? AI overview, tell me.
Oh, boy.
Comes from the television series Spartacus, Blood and Sand. He adopted the moniker.
I remember that. That was actually a pretty good show.
He felt it perfectly described his ability to end scoring droughts and destroy giants on the baseball diamond. Now, that's what AI Overview tells us, and we're just going to assume that's the truth.
So what we're going to do also is we're going to – I'm feeling a little bit better about the Jets because last year, as we've said a lot of times, we are not a coping podcast, but we had to do some coping around this time last year. Especially because not only did training camp start, but Justin Fields was like completing 38% of his passes in training camp when you should be completing like 80% of your passes because it's training camp. And then we were getting things like, oh, you'll get the rough parts out of the way first. And then what do you know? So
what do you know?
So we are feeling a little bit better this year because the offseason's been a little bit quiet. I like the additions they've made. Let's answer some burning questions. And we're going to have a fun little quiz again because Brian Sternbeck, after quiz 2 Electric Boogaloo comes in, now we have quiz 3 Revelations or
sure
quiz 3 Infinity War.
Quiz 3 the squeakquel. We did awful.
No, because Reloaded was the second Matrix, so Revelations was the third one. I remember that. So it's quiz 3 Revelations.
I honestly didn't know they made other Matrix. I've seen the first Matrix, and that's it. I didn't.
They're not that good.
Yeah, I did.
Which is weird because that has like the biggest implications for the story, but they're not.
Or we could just go
bad, but they're okay.
Could go Godfather style, just the quiz part 3.
Godfather 3 is not that bad. It's just it gets 1 and 2 are like all timers, and then 3 is like a 7.5 out of 10. So it looks.
Well, look, we did awful on the second quiz, so we got to get our lick back here. You know, we got to get.
I think we need to stop second guessing ourselves. There's a lot of times we have the right answer, and then one of us goes, nope, it's the other one, and then it was the original one. So you know where to find us: YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get them.
Overcast, as always.
I don't think Overcast. I think that might be kaput. But
real no way, really.
I don't know. No, Google Podcast is kaput. That's
so. But Overcast still around.
I think it is.
Okay, thank God.
But and on YouTube, we're over 2,000 subscribers. Like the stream, big help. Subscribe, big help. Especially during kind of a weird, like YouTube's doing a weird algorithm change or putting Gemini into stuff. So liking and stuff like that shows that we're good. I don't know why they're changing it, but they do. They change it every 5 minutes. So.
That's why Google Podcast is gone. They're putting all their money in Gemini.
Possibly. So let's go and talk about some burning questions. There's one that I really want answered.
All right, you start us off.
Of course, we're going to start at the ball. We're going to start with quarterback, and not to kind of reheat old discussion topics as the hype's died down a little bit, but it is still genuinely something that I'm worried about is the quarterback situation beyond Geno Smith because, look, Cade Klubnik could be the second coming of Chad Pennington. I would love that.
That would be
the
incredible.
Jets haven't had Chad Pennington in a very long time. To get him in the 4th round would be awesome. But we still really don't know what we have in him, especially because he missed some time in minicamp due to some injuries. So we got an even more truncated sample size to kind of operate on. And now the Jets, I don't really think we're in on a ton of veteran quarterbacks except for Russell Wilson. I know that he just retired. Jimmy Garoppolo, I know, was going to retire. Teddy Bridgewater, I don't think has any interest in the Jets.
Previously retired.
Previously retired. They already had him once and traded him. So
Yeah.
if they want a veteran quarterback, I think they kind of missed the train on that. I think that they really believe Cade Klubnik can be QB2. And I think long term they want him to be QB2. But man, as much as I like Cade Klubnik from what I've seen from him in the offseason, like I don't want to get too revisionist with him right now. Like this was a guy when they picked him, we liked the draft. That was the pick that we were questioning the most. I think we both graded like a C minus. Like this was a guy who they probably could have gotten around later, maybe 2 rounds later, and they traded up to get him. So they clearly love this guy. And I know that to bring up an old take that I've heard circulating around the Jets sphere, the Jets can't really have a ton of okay backup quarterbacks because they've been so bad for so long here that if you show anything, if you even have a pulse, it's like, oh, could be the guy. We don't know. Remember the Brady Cook tweets after the Jaguars touchdown? There were a lot of, oh, he's looking good. And then he just melted. His AV, by the way, on Pro Football Reference is -3, which I've never seen before. So that's how bad Brady Cook was.
In 4 starts.
-3. I've never seen it get that low.
That's real bad. By the way, we'll first of all, we'll get to this question in a second. Double D, I love your work on Ed and Eddie. Good stuff. We'll get to this question in a moment after this thrilling Klubnik conversation. I mean, look, it's a conversation we've had a lot already, and as training camp approaches, we're kind of probably gonna be saying some of the same stuff that we've been saying, but now it feels more pressing, right? I think, I mean, where I stand on it is where I stood on it a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. I think the Jets are going to give Cade Klubnik every opportunity to be QB2 this year. I think they're going into the summer kind of higher on him than the consensus. Remember, this is a guy who is a consensus like 6th round pick. I think that's where he fell on the consensus board. The Jets traded up to draft him in the 4th. So clearly they are higher on him than the rest of the NFL may have been, or at least they're higher on him than the average media analyst, right? And the average fan probably was. So because of that, they probably feel more comfortable with him as QB2 than Jets fans might. But I think they're going to give him every opportunity to win that job, which, I mean, right now his competition is Bailey Zappi and Brady Cook. So not exactly steep competition there. But realistically, he's not competing against those guys because you would hope he's better than Brady Cook. You'd probably hope he's better than Bailey Zappi at this stage.
Imagine trading assets.
Yeah.
A 4th round quarterback, almost a 3rd round quarterback.
And
he's
not
a
better
couple
than Brady
picks
Cook.
off, and Brady Cook immediately outplays him. That would be
bad.
That is just a knife to the heart right there.
That would be that'd be pretty bad. But they're going to give him every opportunity to win that job. He's not competing necessarily as much against those guys as much as he's competing against the hypothetical version of whatever other quarterback the Jets would bring in to compete with Klubnik. Now, that could be a free agent, which there's very few options right now, but it's Josh Dobbs, it's Cooper Rush, who we know they had at least,
be still my heart.
they had some at least preliminary interest in Cooper Rush at some point. It doesn't sound like there's anything on that front right now, but they've at least barked up that tree. Is that the right phrase for that? Probably.
They barked up that. You got it right.
Yeah, thanks. It's no pounding the whatever I said. Then
didn't you say ring somebody's clock or something once? Or
I might have. There was a whole pounding the table debate that had.
Yeah, you mash 2 idioms together to create one super idiom that doesn't make sense.
Listen, language is just about communication. As long as you understand what I'm saying, that's what matters. But they're going to give him every opportunity, right? And I think the Jets are going to take this training camp, take maybe the first preseason game, maybe even 2, to evaluate what they have in their quarterback room. And when I say that, I mean evaluate Klubnik. It's evaluating Zappi and Cook, but it's really about Klubnik. And if they feel good about what they have at quarterback, they might go in the year with Klubnik as QB2. And I'm not saying they should do that, but I think that's kind of my pulse on where the Jets are at right now. Ideally, Klubnik comes in this summer and he lights it up and he looks great against 3rd stringers, right? Because that's probably who he's going to be playing against in the preseason. And in training camp, he's not going to be playing with the first team offense. But if he looks good this summer, yeah, why not, man? Go into the year with him as QB2. The options right now aren't great. I would probably prefer, sitting here right now, not knowing what Cade Klubnik's going to look like, I'd probably prefer them to go out there and trade for an Andy Dalton type or even a Will Levis, right? Probably prefer Dalton, I think, if you're just going to, if you Klubnik
Levis you don't want 2 developmental
That's
guys.
exactly what I was going to say. Klubnik is I don't want to call him like a young quarterback swing because he's not really much. I don't think there's a super high ceiling with Klubnik, but he's your young quarterback you're trying to develop. It wouldn't make a ton of sense to go out there and get Levis. Dalton as like your QB2, also mentor to Klubnik, who can in theory, pass the torch to Klubnik as your QB2 going into 2027. I think that makes the most sense. But I don't think that's a conversation the Jets are going to have until after training camp starts and they evaluate the preliminary portion of their quarterback room.
Call me an unprepared host, but do you remember by any chance how some of the Jets quarterback busts of yesteryear performing in the preseason? Like, was Bryce Petty lighting it up? Was James Morgan lighting it up? Like, Hackenberg, I remember very clearly, was awful there. I'm like, wow, it was stunning how bad he was early on in the preseason.
I don't think the one James Morgan preseason memory I have is the Hail Mary to
the
Kenny
Hail
Yeboah.
Mary, yeah, that's
the Kenny Yeboah. That's the one I have. I don't recall him particularly lighting it up before that. Petty's going back over a decade now.
Zach was good, I remember.
Yeah, Zach was good. Zach had some moments in the preseason. Hey, look, Adrian Martinez had some moments in the preseason last year. Brady Cook looked all right in the preseason. We should.
I know that we're kind of, in a lot of ways, we're a little bit of a sickos podcast that goes really deep on some stuff. Think about how much time we spent on should it be Adrian Martinez or Brady Cook for the Q. That was like, we said that a lot.
And both of those players ended up appearing in NFL games last year. So
one was a little bit less successful, I would say, than the other.
Well, I mean, look, Adrian Martinez, what did he do for the 49ers?
Nothing, and therefore he was better.
Cook started games.
Well, Cook was a negative, so if you do nothing, you're at zero. You're a negative like Cook.
Remember when Adrian Martinez was on the Jets roster the year before and they elevated him from the practice squad and he just didn't play? You remember that? That's such a random pull. But yeah, I think that's what the Jets are doing with their quarterback room right now. I'll ask you first. If you were making predictions right now, would Cade Klubnik be the week 1 QB2 for the Jets? What do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
I just don't. There's nobody else out there. Josh Dobbs and Cooper Rush is
there are. Look, I mean, I think
nobody out there where, if God forbid if Geno gets hurt and can't play or whatever.
Yeah.
The only guy I could possibly see putting out there and saying, all right, this season is not a completely lost cause might be Josh Dobbs. He might gut you to a couple wins. Everybody else, the season is done. So if the season would be done, I'd at least want to get almost a full year of Klubnik. That's kind of what I'm looking at.
I mean, I'm not just talking free agents. I'm talking like right now, currently, yeah, Josh Dobbs and Cooper Rush is your best options. Not great.
I just don't see why the Eagles would trade a guy like a Dalton either.
Well, I mean, their quarterback room is pretty full, right? What they have?
McKee, they have Cole Payton, Dalton.
Yeah, they have McKee and Cole Payton. So you would assume they don't carry. I mean, they could carry 4 quarterbacks, right?
Payton could just be like a practice squad long-term thing.
What was Payton, the 5th or a 6th round pick?
5th, late 5th though.
5th round picks usually don't start on the practice squad. I think they probably would prefer to keep Payton on the 53-man roster. And so if that's the case, I'm assuming if they're trading one of McKee or Dalton, Dalton's the easier to acquire. McKee, they've had a very high asking price on McKee for a while. So unless that's come down, I don't think that's changed. So I think if you trade them some day 3 pick, you could probably get Dalton. Remember when the Jets traded for Joe Flacco a few years back? I think it could be a similar trade, which also they traded with the Eagles to get Joe Flacco. So could be something similar with that.
And he's been one of the best quarterbacks of the last decade for this team.
Truly, yes. Actually, somebody
think about that.
When I was, I forget, I recently had this discussion with someone and I was trying to think genuinely over the last 10 years, what's the best quarterback season the Jets have had? There's 2 options, I think. It's either 2017 McCown or 2024 Rodgers. That's it. The last 10 years.
2024 Rodgers, which is saying something.
Yeah, because neither of those players were above average quarterbacks. They were at best league average to slightly below average quarterbacks those years.
And look, we give Rodgers a lot of crap. He at least gave you something at least. Not what you thought you were getting, but he gave you something.
Yeah.
And that's the best in the last decade. And it was broken down decrepit Rodgers.
That's
how bad. Before we move on to our next segment, Justin put out a short about this, about how Justin Fields got called the next Sam Darnold by Theo Ash. I will say, because we're talking about Levis, he would be my pick for the next Darnold. Would be Levis.
By the way, you are stuttering like crazy right now. Not your audio's fine, but your video is going nuts. I don't know if that's just on my end, but I think.
Okay, I don't
know if you have a lot of tabs
messed
open.
Up, then so be it. Looks fine on my end. So
okay, the audio is fine. Your video is just real stuttery. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Enjoy my beautiful still face here. So, but I think Levis he'd be my Darnold. Certainly not Justin Fields.
Well, yeah, no, it's truly mind-boggling that people still have that Justin Fields take after what he put on tape last year. I said this on Twitter. I think what Justin Fields put on tape last year in half of his starts was as bad, on par with the worst of Zach Wilson. he was unplayable for half those starts. 4 of his 9 starts, he had under 60 passing yards. That Broncos game might have been the worst game I've seen from a Jets. I mean, it's the bar for that is so low as far as the worst game from a Jets quarterback, but it's up there with Black Friday Tim Boyle. It's up there with seeing ghost Sam Darnold. It's up there with 2022 Patriots Zach Wilson. Like
that defense down, Zach, or picks on the first 2 plays, Zach.
I forget which one that was.
No, picks on the first 2 plays was his rookie year.
Oh yeah. But Fields versus Denver
was bad. I didn't
year,
let the defense down because the impact of that, because he got benched after that.
That was for Mike White, right? That was
Mike effing White.
Yeah,
who again is like probably a top 4 or 5 Jets quarterback of the last decade.
It's insane, dude. It's insane.
I don't know how you think you'd luck into one, but nope.
I don't know. All right, I got a burning question. We'll move off the quarterback convo. I by the way, I agree with you that I think right now, if I were putting odds on it, I'd say it's more likely than not that Klubnik is QB2, but that depends on how he plays. If he struggles this summer, they're going to have to make a move. Like, there's just no way that Glenn and this coaching staff goes into the season with Klubnik as QB2 if he looks like shit in the summer. They can't do that. They can't afford to do that because then
unless they just really believe in Frank Reich, because this was clearly Frank Reich's guy.
Bailey Zappi lights it up, and there you go. There's your
QB2. The Zap Man. I forgot about that. The Zap Man might be QB2.
Zap Attack. It's possible. All right. I got a question for you, Mike. Looking at other position battles, because we're talking QB2, right? I think the most intriguing position battle, it's one we've discussed a lot, but let's talk about it again. Cornerback. Brandon Stevens is cornerback 1. I've seen some people like debating that. It's like, oh man, he stinks and all this stuff. Like, Brandon Stevens is not particularly great, but I thought last year he was a starting caliber NFL cornerback, and he is very clearly at least going into the year. I'm not saying he's like definitively the best corner on the roster. I think the Jets view him as their top corner going into.
Brandon Stevens is the victim of, and this happens a lot, not to get all like, cultural analyst here, but this happens a lot in society now where people just pick names and then they get picked up as, I almost call it the Nickelback example. Okay. They're not a good band, but like, why are they the worst band ever? Like, why of all the bad band, why is it not Limp Bizkit, which it should be? Why is it them? Because I hate Fred Durst so much. Okay. Like, why is Brandon Stevens like one of the mean, terrible cornerback? Like, is he great? No. Well, but
I think it's also preconceived notions. Like, Stevens signed with the Jets, and a lot of people were very against the signing, us included. Like, I was definitely not a fan of paying Brandon Stevens, who was coming off a year where he allowed like the second most yards of any
straight up bad with the Ravens last
year. They paid him 3 years, $36 million. He was the only player they signed to longer than 2-year contract. Like, I was not a fan of that signing at the time, but I thought he exceeded expectations with the Jets. And by exceeded expectations, I mean, he exceeded my expectations. I would say he met the expectations of his contract. Like, that's how I would put it. Like, still, I think he allowed 8 touchdowns last year or 7 touchdowns, something like that. No interceptions, obviously, because the entire Jets defense didn't get any. But I think he's a very quality run defending corner, run support corner, good tackler. Like, I think he's fine. Like, on a snap to snap basis, I think he's a starting caliber cornerback, or at least he was last year. But anyway, the real conversation is who is starting opposite him. And honestly, what does the cornerback room look like? Because I feel like right now the chalk answer for that is Stevens is cornerback 1, Nashawn Wright versus Azaria Thomas for cornerback 2. And I think people are leaning right now. Wright is like the early penciled in favorite.
I think by the end of the year, I hate saying by the end of the year, this guy will be starting, because I'm like, well, why don't you just start him at the beginning if you're so confident that he's going to be there by the end of the year? So I always hate doing that. But I do think in like week 18, whenever the Jets are in it until like, week 17, 18, they may just tank. But right up until they just say, all right, we're tanking, I think Azaria is probably going to be in there. I think this is a guy who, I mean, value-wise, there was no way I think the Jets thought he would be there when they took him. So this is a guy I think that they really love the value on.
I think he was like 70 at the time. I think he was like 75 on the consensus board. They took him, or I'm sorry, I think he was like 50 or 40 something on the consensus board. They took him at 73, I think.
I had him going in my mock like in the early 60s, and I was called way too low on him. Like, I saw for a while he was like, could he go into the first round? Like, this is not a nothing guy. We questioned the fit. When they trade Sauce, the fit became a little less questionable because now he has more of a clear path to playing time because he can only play on the outside. I still don't love the speed. Yeah. And it was weird because he was a good tackler in college, but he didn't really tackle that well in the pros. But he also
small sample size.
He also was guarding quicker receivers better than he did in college in the pros. So it was kind of this weird inversion of everything the Jets thought they were getting. what I think is the more questionable or unsettled position battle, it's happening with the nickel spot.
Yeah.
Everybody assumes it's going to be D'Angelo Bonds. Even if the Jets want to put the experienced guy out there first and go with Brownlee, like Ponds is going to eventually, I think, be that guy. The problem I have is Minkah Fitzpatrick. If you look at his numbers over the last couple of years, when he's playing in that slot, which that's kind of the new trend right now in the NFL, is you have this big nickel slot, Kyle Hamilton, Nicky Manwari. That's the new thing. And the Dolphins kind of did that last year. Minkah, I thought, was great last year with the Dolphins. He wasn't getting 5 picks, but he did everything that they needed him to do. And if you put him at safety, he's still good, but you can tell he's lost a little bit of a step. He's not completely ineffective. He'd still be the Jets' best deep safety by leaps and bounds.
By a mile.
Not even close if they just put him at deep safety. But essentially what the Jets have done this year, and they're obviously at some point going to get Ponds on the field, a top 50 pick who every single person who's ever spent a minute with him likes. What they've set themselves up for, at least the next year, is either take arguably their best individual defensive player. You could argue their best overall player. I wouldn't put him there, put Garrett Wilson, but you can make an argument and put him in a position where he doesn't succeed as well. You're not maximizing him. You're not Minkah maxing, as it were. Or you put him in nickel, and then D'Angelo Ponds is top 50 pick everybody liked. Well, where does he play?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we could play him outside. I'm sure they're going to try to play him outside a little bit, and not to be a hater and saying, oh, he's too small, because that's always what people have said about him his whole career is he's too small. But like, if you're 5'8", 180, and you got to go guard DK Metcalf and Jamar Chase and some of these guys out here, like AJ Brown twice a year, I don't think D'Angelo Ponds is going to perform very well against A.J. Brown twice a year. So they have to make some sort of decision. Because I think Ponds' long-term future is inside, and I think Minkah's short-term future is inside. And they got Minkah for 3 more years, so they can't just put Ponds on ice.
I've been kind of soft launching a take that I'm about a hard launch right now on this podcast.
It always scares me when you do this.
About D'Angelo Ponds. I've been saying that I think they're going to give him opportunities to play outside, and that I think I had even said last week or a couple weeks ago that by the end of the year, I think he might be the best cornerback on the Jets roster. I will hard launch this take now. I think D'Angelo Ponds' long-term future in the NFL is as an outside corner, and I think he will be one of the Jets' starting outside corners at some point this season. I don't know if it'll be week 1. But I think he will solidify himself as a starting outside corner for this Jets team, whether it's because of injury, he gets the opportunity, or just because he's that damn good. I know, I totally get the wants and desire, the tendency, whatever, to pigeonhole him as a slot guy because of his size. And I totally get that. And you know what, man? Maybe he ends up being a slot corner. Maybe he ends up being an awesome slot corner at the NFL level. Like, I think he's going to be a really good player regardless. This is a position he primarily played outside corner, like almost exclusively played outside corner in college. And he did so at such a high level. Like, you could have argued he was the best corner in college football last year, just based on his tape. I saw this dude press Denzel Boston, who's like 6'4", 200-something pounds. I saw him press him out of bounds. He is so strong for his size. He is such a good tackler. He's so physical. Like, yeah, is he going to be at a disadvantage lining up one-on-one against DK Metcalf? Sure. Of course he is. I'm not going to bet against him. I can't bring myself to bet against this guy.
I don't want to bet against him either. And I
think you are. I think you're hating.
I think Denzel Boston's going to be a pretty good player too.
Agreed.
But there's a difference between Denzel Boston so far. We don't know what he's going to be, and AJ Brown. I'm going to keep bringing him up because you play him twice a year, and he's kind of the archetype of the receiver I'm kind of worried about.
100%.
Like AJ Brown, if he's on the outside in single coverage on a go route against D'Angelo Ponds, Drake May's throwing that 10 times out of 10.
And you know what? D'Angelo Ponds is jumping with his 43.5-inch vertical, and he's knocking that ball away. That's like, I agree. He will be at more of a disadvantage going up against a guy like AJ Brown than Denzel Boston.
Especially too when he's got a run block. I don't know too. That could be
for sure. I think by the end of the year, Brandon Stevens. Honestly, I'll say it's Brandon Stevens. If it ends up being like Deshaun Wright or even AZ Thomas, whatever, right? Then I don't think that's because you can get out of Stevens' contract after this year. But
right.
I think you end up playing Ponds outside and Minkah steps into more of a slot role as the year goes on. And then at safety, you're running with a 3 safety rotation of Dane Belton, Malachi Moore, and Andre Cisco. Cisco maybe ends up playing more in that regard because I think he's probably, if you're not playing Minkah at free safety, you really don't want to play Moore or Belton there. You kind of have to play Cisco if you're doing that. Like that's the other thing is,
which I don't love that either.
Yeah, that's the thing about Minkah is I do think he's more valuable, or I think he'd be better at slot corner, as a big nickel. I think he's more valuable to this Jets team at free safety. Like they don't have anybody else other than Cisco who's playing that role, and Cisco was not good last year with the Jets, and maybe he'll be better in his second year.
He got benched the year before in Jacksonville, didn't he?
Yeah. So and he's also not making a lot of money. So
I'm about to hard launch a take that's even crazier than your take.
Okay, I don't think my take was that crazy.
It won't happen, but I think it could be at least fun, and it'll maximize the two guys I'm thinking about. I've always said this when watching this player. I think eventually, in kind of a Lardarius Webb way, Brandon Stevens will convert to safety before the end of his career.
Lardarius Webb is a name I haven't thought of in forever, dude.
Because he's the guy that he played like pretty much half his career at both spots.
Yeah, he was playing safety early on with the Ravens. Like that, I believe he was drafted as a safety, and then they moved him to corner. He also played running back in college at UCLA, which that's a wild story. He went to UCLA, then he transferred to SMU.
So what if, hypothetically, you do that, and then there's a way where one of Thomas or Wright, maybe Thomas, Pons, and Minkah are all on the field. You can maybe not play Cisco if you have to do that. And then you can put Minkah in the slot. You can put Pons outside. It's not going to happen, obviously, because Stevens is the best cornerback on this roster right now.
Yeah. I honestly.
But I mean, if that happened and that worked, I don't think it'd be crazy. I've heard weirder ideas.
My take is D'Angelo Pons is currently the best corner on the Jets roster. And I know it's crazy to say he hasn't played in a game, but also the bar is pretty low. But on that point, Mike, when the Jets initially signed Brandon Stevens, I remember a lot of copium from fans being like, oh, don't worry, they're moving him to safety. He's playing. Do you remember that? $12
million a year for safety that
was the thing. But that was a take some people had. They're like, no, he sucked at corner. They're going to move him to safety. We don't know that. They're moving him to safety. People had that take. The issue is $12 million for a free, like you're paying him basically as much as Minkah. Then Minka's making $13.3 million. So you're paying Brandon Stevens damn near Minkah Fitzpatrick money at safety. Like you can't do that. Like that's
Brian Sternbeck. Slot corners may have been steadily growing in importance in recent years, but you would hope Pons turns out better than just a nickel who struggles against the run.
And I don't think he's going to struggle against the run. I really don't. The dude missed 2 tackles all last year at Indiana. What was his PFF run defense grade? Was in like the high 80s. The man's always been.
I don't want to keep being like the he's too small kind of guy, but like
I don't care, man.
There is a level of, like there's a size, athleticism / football know-how threshold that you just have to cross to make it in the NFL.
Listen,
and and I know he did it against NFL prospects. Obviously did. He won a freaking national championship, and that team just razor bladed everybody to death. I get that, but like eventually, I think he'll be able to do all that. What I'm afraid of is like for 2026, like very early on in his career, I'm afraid he's going to be at a disadvantage in those situations. And what I'm afraid of then on top of that is the coaching staff just tries to, in a good way, like mix and match him in a bunch of different spots. And then he has like no identity. And then he's just like a jack of all trades, master of none kind of guy. Like for the short term.
D'Angelo Pons was the best player on the field in the national championship. Like, and I truly believe that. That's not nothing, man. And you'll go for the low-hanging fruit of too small. I'll go for low-hanging fruit of saying, you know who's done it? Aaron Glenn did it. Aaron Glenn did it. Aaron Glenn did exactly what you're saying. We're concerned D'Angelo Pons is going to do. It's not like it hasn't been done. I'm aware that it's an anomaly. If D'Angelo Pons becomes like a number 1 corner in the NFL, he's an extreme anomaly. And he is
I keep coming back to Kenny Moore.
Kenny Moore had some damn good years. He had some damn good years. But even other smaller corners, like a Brent Grimes, he had some pretty good years. Brent Grimes was a multi-time Pro Bowler in Tampa, Miami. There's other guys who don't immediately come to mind right now. But, again, you're going to be at a disadvantage if you're built like D'Angelo Pons as opposed to Patrick Surtain or Sauce Gardner, who are just a lot more big, or a lot bigger. But Pons is also a crazy athlete. Dude runs a 4.3 40, had a 43.5-inch vertical. Right?
Apparently he can dunk. He said in like a Jets YouTube video kind of thing. Apparently
he's
he can
Nate
dunk
Robinson.
at 5'8", which is
he's
nuts.
Nate Robinson. He's Nate Robinson. Like that's what he is. But like on a football field. And maybe he could be better than Nate Robinson. There's no disrespect to Nick Slater and Nate Robinson. I don't know. I'm planting my flag in the D'Angelo Pons camp and saying that I think for as much as like it's so obvious to be like, yeah, the size is gonna be a detriment for him at the NFL level. And I think there's gonna be times, of course, where we look at it and say, oh man, he got a little physically overwhelmed there. I think the times where that happens are going to be few and far between. And I think he's going to vastly exceed what even, the expectations of being a second round pick. I think he's going to be the best immediate impact player in this Jets rookie class this year. That's my take on him.
Chris B, can Geno command our Jets playbook smoothly enough to avoid the turnover woes that have plagued our franchise for years? I believe he will. Just wondering your thoughts.
That goes into a broader, as my cat jumps on my lap, a broader Geno.
You got any opinion on this cat?
Yeah, Butter, what do you think? You think Geno's cooked? What do you think? He don't care. He don't have any thoughts.
Yeah, so that's the tough part with evaluating a guy like Geno is there's some stuff that he does negative. Like at a certain point, you are who you are player-wise. Like D'Angelo Ponz at a certain point, like he just may end up playing a certain way cornerback, and they have to kind of work around that. Geno plays quarterback stylistically a certain way. And while there are good parts to it, he's still very accurate deep down the field. He's still able to make plays with his legs. He still picks up an offense very quickly. He will take a lot of sacks, and he's going to throw picks. Like he does. He's always, even when he was good, he does it.
Yep.
And you got to live with that. And the Jets are saying we can live with that. What you don't want is the Raiders where he's throwing almost 20 picks. Obviously, some of that was his own fault. Some of that was horrible situation where it was really hard for anybody to succeed. But he's going to turn the ball over. If he throws under 10 interceptions this year, that is a miracle. I don't think you're going to get that. He's going to throw like 12, 13 interceptions. All you got to hope for is that he's a little cavalier and you also get 25 touchdowns mixed in there. I think he can do that possibly, especially with all the receivers. But I don't want to get too worried about the interception, especially coming off last year. I'm not saying throw more interceptions to be that risky, but last year, every quarterback in that room, specifically Justin Fields, got so spooked by the ramifications of turning the ball over that they would not even throw the ball. Geno Smith, for better or worse, is going to throw the ball to the spot where he's told to throw the ball.
Yeah, I mean, you expect volatility with Geno. Like the volatility is going to be there. The turnovers are going to be there. You just need to see the highs mixed in with the lows, which you got that at, in widespread spurts. That's a weird way of phrasing that. You got a lot in Seattle, right? So I didn't like that phrasing either. I don't like the word spurt. You got a lot. You saw that all the time in Seattle. That's why he was so
12
good.
Years old.
Got away with words, Mike. I know. But you didn't get that last year in Vegas. You just got the downs. You got the lows. You got the negatives. And you want to see the positives mixed in there too. I want to get back to the question from Double D, which I actually forgot. Sorry. Double D, if you're still here, I'm so sorry. Again, love your work in Edda and Eddie. Forgot to get to this question. Mike, what do you think the Jets record's going to be through their first 4 games, which just to recap, that is what, Tennessee and then the entire AFC North or NFC North, right?
1-2-1.
Yeah, so they go at Tennessee, home against Green Bay with those whiteout jerseys, which we didn't get to talk about, dude. I fucking love those jerseys. Those are,
and I normally am not.
I
don't normally like white helmets, but that
I do.
Good.
I am not normally a jersey or uniform guy. Like I think uniform discourse is so overrated. I was sweating when I saw those. But they go away.
Uniforms they should never change. Like the
agree.
Logo they got now, I like just the home green. I think is really good. Like the nameplate, the numbering, all that. Don't touch these. These are really good.
Yep.
I like these so much better, honestly, than even like the classic like Parcells Rex ones. Like I thought those were kind of bland.
These are my favorite current Jets uniform combo, and it's my favorite that I can remember in a while.
I mean, they got the 80s logo and everything. But
I'm
going to say
they go away against Tennessee, home against Green Bay, and then away against Detroit and away against Chicago. So NFC North gauntlet of Tennessee week 1.
3 on the road too. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 on the road, Tennessee week 1, and then 3 games against the NFC North, 2 of which are on the road. That's tough.
1-2-1.
One, you think a tie?
Well, win, loss, and I'm going to say push because there's one I'm undecided on.
Oh, you can't cop out like that. All right, pick a tie.
All right.
Pick a tie.
I think they beat the Titans.
Okay.
I think they lose to the Lions and the Bears.
Okay.
Really, I am very torn because they're going to play the Packers when they don't have Micah Parsons probably.
Yes.
And that defense without Micah, it's not amazing. And Jordan Love is a really good quarterback, but every now and again, like I remember the Browns beat him last year and they scored like 10 points. Like he'll be rolling and then just have one like nightmare game, especially early. It could be that. But also, like talent-wise, the Packers should win that game. It's tough though. So that's the only one I'm undecided about. The other three, I think, like they're not beating the Lions in Detroit. They're not beating the Bears in Chicago. So.
And you think they beat Tennessee or they lose Tennessee?
I think they beat Tennessee.
Okay.
Only now, as Double D says here, revenge game Salah. Every time there's been a revenge game against the Jets always lose these games.
Even the revenge game.
Rodgers last year.
I was gonna say Baker Mayfield versus Steve Wilkes, which was not a revenge game I even thought of until
Baker made it a revenge game when there was no revenge to be had.
I was like, Jesus Christ, that
guy cut me. It's like you asked to be cut.
Yeah.
Like even Steve Wilkes, who we're no fan of Steve Wilkes, he's like, they were asking him about it. He was like, I have no idea why this guy.
It is funny that there's been beef with two universally despised Jets assistant coaches in recent years, and both times Jets fans have been like, hey, we're the only ones that can shut up. Like remember with Denver and Nathaniel Hackett.
Oh yeah, it's like hey,
and then it ends up happening with Steve Wilkes and Baker, and it's like, whoa, we hate Nathaniel Hackett, but you can't hate. We will stand our guy. It is funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say right now. I'm kind of undecided. Now, again, if Micah comes back and he makes this like miracle recovery and he can play, that changes the calculus totally. Micah against Membu is going to be very fun to watch, though. But
yeah,
I will say the Titans, they're going to honor Chris Johnson, who was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease before the game. That's a lot of strong emotional karma at Tennessee's back right now. So.
It is. The Jets got their own revenge. I mean, obviously, half the former Jets roster is on Tennessee now, so because of Salas
and all the Tony Adams coaches too, and
the Tony Adams revenge game, the John Franklin Myers, Jermaine Johnson,
Aaron White Cotton,
Solomon Thomas, Tanzel Smart on the assistant coaching staff.
Isn't Tony Oden on that?
Tony Oden is the DB's coach, I believe. Marquand Manuel also on Salah's staff. So a lot of former Jets.
I've never seen an unsuccessful coach just say, "All right, I'm going to do the exact same thing in this news." I've never seen it like this before.
Yeah. That's pretty wild.
Like this extreme.
As Chris said, week 1 versus the Titans is a litmus test. I agree. I think so much of the vibe for the season might be set in week 1. You never want to because week 1 is always notoriously wonky in the NFL. Like it's easy to look back. Yeah, it's easy to look back on week 1 and 2 results and be like, those are weird, right? After you look at the end of the season. But I'm gonna say 1 and 3 is where I'm gonna go with it. But I think they lose Tennessee. I think they steal one of the NFC North games. Maybe Green Bay would be the one that I lean. 1, that's the home opener. 2, they've seemingly actually done well against the Packers in recent years. Like, obviously, I think of the Sauce Cheesehead game a few years back. Like, and especially if there's no Micah, Tucker Kraft's not going to be 100% if he's playing. I think that's the time to play Green Bay if you want to play them. They could win that game. Like, they could totally win that game. But boy, would it feel nice to win.
The Packers play week 1. Let me see.
I don't know. Yeah, how desperate are they going to be going in that game?
Yeah, that could be a thing. Like that. Sometimes, you can pick games. You're like, all right, this team can't be 0-2.
Right.
Let's see. Who do they play week 1? They play Anticipation.
Division game.
Home again. No, wait, that's later in the year. They're at the Vikings.
Not an easy game. But certainly winnable. But in Minnesota is never easy. That's never easy, especially division rivalry.
And Kyler's going to be playing and not 9. So
we don't technically know that. Yeah, I would assume so though. I'll say
Double D. So we're going 0-4. Wonderful.
I mean, it's very possible they go 0-4. They will be underdogs in all 4 of those games. So they will have to steal a win to go
which is upsetting because if they go 0-4, there's going to be a lot of seasons over stuff. But then. The schedule is very manageable after that.
It is. It's a really tough start to the schedule.
Dolphins twice and Raiders and Browns.
Which is why that week 1 is so important because that is a very winnable game. I know you're on the road and I know there's all this, media attention. There's all this hype. Salah, Cam Ward, year 2. Like there's a lot of hype here. You could win that game.
You know what's going to suck though if they lose to the Titans? There's going to be people who were begging to fire Salah being like, oh, I told you.
Oh, well, yeah. That's the thing and these are the games that in not even recent memory, in most of my memory
forever
Jets. Yeah, these are the games the Jets lose when there's all this media pressure, all the potential narratives of look, the Jets were stupid, they were wrong. Anytime there's an opportunity for the Jets to prove people wrong, they never do it. They just never can do it. And this feels like one of those games again. Is it going to be different this time around? I don't know, Mike. It's hard for me to feel like it's going to be, but man, it would feel great if they won in week 1 in Nashville and they could go home in their home opener wearing these awesome jerseys that we were just talking about with the new white helmets, and you got your home opener against Green Bay, and you have a chance to go up 2-0 in the season.
Imagine if they were 2-0.
Oh my God. Dream start. Now, is that going to happen? Almost definitely not. But
Are they going to probably get killed by the Lions and the Bears? Yes. But
even still, if you end up 2-2 through your first 4, looking at this schedule, you should be thrilled. Then you go 2-2 and you're playing Cleveland in week 5. You could be 3-2 through 5 weeks. I mean, Jets fans would be doing jumping jacks. They'd be doing cartwheels. They'd be doing backflips. They'd be.
When was the last time? Was it McCown year? I think that was the last time they were 3-2.
Yeah, they were 3-2 at McCown. That's well. What was the year they were 6-3 with Saleh?
Oh yeah, yeah.
They were that year as well. It was 2022, right?
Yeah, because if they play, all right, because it gets hard still. Because after the Browns, that is a must-win game. Because Week 6 is at New England. That is not a win. So
again, if history tells us anything, no, it's probably.
But then you get Dolphins at home, Raiders at home, and the Raiders, man, I haven't Mendoza out there yet.
Very winnable games.
Very winnable games.
Very winnable games. But that's why Tennessee
they get some winnable games at the end too, where it's like the Cardinals, Minnesota at home, Bills when they're probably in the playoffs and tanking, or not tanking, when they're not playing the starters.
Yep.
Dolphins are 2 weeks before that. Like the end and the middle are the easy parts. Now there's that one hell stretch where it's Chiefs, Bills, Chargers all in a row, but.
This relates to another good question that I had for you, Mike. And this could be almost like a two-parter, but I'll start with the first one.
Okay.
And this is less about training camp, but it's a good conversation to have before the season starts. And I also, one more caveat to it, I don't think there's necessarily like a definitive answer for this. But
okay,
how many games does Aaron Glenn have to win in 2026 to save his job?
6.
Okay.
I think they're going to win 7. That's my prediction, 7 and 10.
Okay.
Which I'm fine. I think we're fine with that with Geno Smith. Right?
If the Jets go 7-10, that's awesome. Like I think most fans should be very happy with that. I don't think they do. I'm more pessimistic on them than that. But I would love if they won 7 games.
I think if they win 6, I'm looking at the schedule again, right? And just looking at it, like I think they're probably going to win 2 division games. I think they either sweep the Dolphins or they lose 1 against the Dolphins, maybe in Miami, and then crazy miracle upset. They steal 1, maybe like trap game for the Bills or something like that. Who the hell knows?
Sure.
It's one of those things. I think they beat the Vikings at home. I think they beat the Browns. I think they beat the Cardinals. So that's 5. I think they beat the Titans. So that's 6. And I think they beat the Raiders. So that's 7.
It's all possible.
So if they lose one of those, you can lose one of those games as a mulligan.
Minnesota.
You lose 2 of those winnable games. I think that might be it. Because if you're 5-12 again, I think that's not enough progress. Even 6 wins, you can write off, and 6 wins if they look good.
Well, that's the thing, is context matters here. And I've been asked this question about, I was just on Jake Asman's show, and he asked me that. Like, how many games does Glenn need to survive the season?
Doesn't it suck that we're already having that conversation?
But look, if you go 3-14 your first year and you have 3 first-round picks next year, I get it. It's a valid conversation. It's fair. It's fair to be having that conversation. But my answer has been, it depends. Like, I know it's a little bit of a cop-out, but the context matters here.
Calling me that for saying there's a plush game, and then
because there's a world where the Jets win 5 games and Aaron Glenn's back. There's a world where they win 7 or 8 and he's not back. Like I think there's a world where both of those things can happen.
What's the world where they go 8-9, he gets fired?
The defense is awful, and Geno Smith has a really good season, and the offense is really good under Reich, and Reich looks very good, but the defense, maybe they go another 12 weeks without an interception. Like, it's fucking possible. And if that happens, I will say again,
this though, for this fan base specifically, if their defense is horrible, and Aaron Glenn, because remember the whole he handpicked Justin Fields, which was done. If he gets Geno Smith and he puts together enough of a good season where that play gets him to 8-9 after the quarterbacks this fan base has seen, I don't think there's going to be a lot of get rid of this coaching staff talk.
Look, I would say it's unlikely that they win 8 games and Aaron Glenn's fired. One, because I think if they win 8 games,
that's likely, like a top 2 season of the last 10 years.
And it's also just likely that the defense was good. Like, I can't really foresee many worlds where they win 8 games and the defense is bad, but the offense is like top 12.
Geno would have to be like Joe Burrow in Cincinnati.
Well, Geno just has like a resurgent Seattle year, and all the guys you drafted, the skill players look good. But on defense, David Bailey's like awful, unplayable, right? Demario Davis is washed. Minka looks bad. Your corners suck. Like, it would have to be a weird collection of things for that. It would
all have to.
I think it's unlikely.
At once.
But the point that I'm trying to make is they could win 6 games or 7 games and he's fired, or they could win 6 or 7 games and he's brought back. Like there's like, it depends on the context around that. And the biggest data point that we are going to have in 2026 to evaluate Aaron Glenn outside of wins, because wins are ultimately what matters in this league, but outside of wins, you're going to have the defense to evaluate Glenn, which is why I'm so happy that he is calling defensive plays. And that doesn't seem like that was the initial plan for the Jets. It seems like, and by the Jets, I mean Aaron Glenn, it seems like they wanted to hire Wink Martindale and Glenn wanted to remain in his head coach, CEO role, whatever. It sounds like Woody Johnson came in and was like, no, I'm paying you to be this defensive guy. If we are going to have a season where we have 3 defensive takeaways and no interceptions, you better have a plan to fix it. And that plan better not involve me paying top dollar for Wink Martindale, right? So but either way, Glenn is now the guy calling defensive plays. So we can now look at the 2026 performance of this Jets defense and evaluate evaluate Aaron Glenn based on the performance of that defense. So if the defense is good this year, good job. Aaron Glenn did a good job. He brought in his guys. He brought in David Onyemata and Demario Davis and Minkah Fitzpatrick and whoever else, right? And it fixed it. And he fixed it. D'Angelo Pons, maybe he plays well. David Bailey, right? Or the defense is shit. The corners look overwhelmed. Maybe Bailey's underwhelming and D'Angelo Pons, the size really does get to him, and you don't get much from Osai and Enikbari and Demario looks washed or whatever, right? If those things happen and the defense is bad and we don't like the play calling, Aaron Glenn's gone. Right? Like,
I think that'd be almost as bad, if not worse, of a look for Muji, because they made so many, just the number of acquisitions they made on defense. Like they would all have to flop all at once.
Yeah.
For it to be as bad as they were last year.
I was going to ask you a follow-up question now, but first we'll go after Brian here. He said, I do like the Jets offseason, but it's still hard for me to imagine 6 wins, which would have likely earned the Jets the 6th pick of this draft, I assume is what he meant. And it will be enough to save Glenn's job. Depends. Like you need to feel like the coaching staff that you have right now is the staff that you want in place for a rookie quarterback, right? And if say they win 6 games, right? But the defense is top 20 in the NFL, right? They get a few takeaways. They're competitive in most games. And it's clear that the big issue is you don't have a quarterback. Then maybe you keep Glenn, right? If the players love Aaron Glenn and the locker room is still bought in and the defense significantly improves with him calling plays and the young guys on offense look good. And the issue is you don't have a quarterback. Maybe Geno is really bad or maybe even gets hurt, right? But he plays poorly. Maybe you give Klubnik a chance and he also looks like a rookie 4th-round pick. I don't think that should be an indictment on Aaron Glenn. So in that scenario, I think they could win 6 games and Glenn is still brought back. But the defense has to be good. If they're not competitive in games and the defense is bottom 6 in the league, bottom 7 in the league again, yeah, I mean, it's a real tough sell to bring Glenn back if you're not winning games and the defense is struggling.
I'll give Glenn this. The locker room seems to love him still.
Yeah, he still has that going.
Which you gotta consider that.
100%.
And I know that some guys win without, the locker room. Like apparently Sean McDermott was like that in Buffalo where guys were a little tired of him. But hey, if you're getting to the playoffs and winning playoff games every year, you can't fire the guy really, except for when they fire the guy. Yeah. but like Glenn's I don't think Glenn's ever really going to quote unquote lose the locker, because last year would have been the year to lose the locker room. And from like all those surveys and all that, it sounds like they didn't.
Well, I mean, if they start out 0-7 again this year,
then it might be.
I think he will lose the faith of I think the players will be like, well, that's 2 years in a row. We've now started 0-7.
I really hope this, like 0-7 would be extreme.
Well, 0-7, we're getting a midseason firing if that happens.
And then Mookie's probably gone too.
Well, that was to be my follow-up question.
If they're 0-7.
As my cat joins me again. My follow-up question to this, Mike, was going to be, how tied at the hip do you think Glenn and Muji are? Like, do you think, because there's been all this talk out there.
Muji's definitely got a longer leash, I'll say that.
Yeah, there's been this talk out there that Muji's the primary decision maker now. And
Muji only makes the good moves. Aaron and Glenn makes the bad ones. You know how
that's
it works.
How it goes. But how, do you think, like, how safe is Darren Muji's job is essentially the question I'm asking.
He's pretty safe. I can't imagine firing a GM after 2 years when he's never really had the opportunity to land a quarterback.
Well, I mean, the justification, and I get what you're saying, right? But the justification would be you had 2 swings at quarterback, right? They weren't good swings. You didn't have great options, but you took 2 swings, and assuming Geno fails in this scenario, both were swings and misses, right? Hold on, sorry, my cat is.
I guess you also don't want to repeat a Douglas too, where they kept him, I think, for longer than they maybe should have because it's we're building, and then
right.
you never.
And then you're going into a year where you're going to have 3 first-round picks, right? And you just had 3 first-round picks this year, so it depends on how those guys look, right? But if maybe
for being honest too about Muji, you look in that last draft, he's got what 1.5 picks in 2025 that look okay.
Yes.
Membu's immense, huge hit. Yes. Awesome.
That is exactly how I would describe that draft class. Right now, you have one obvious hit in Armand Membu, and then Mason Taylor
Taylor looks pretty good.
Is maybe a starter right in the future, but that's certainly not solidified right now. And then nobody else. Like Azari has a chance. Malachi Moore has a chance to be a starter.
We just haven't seen enough of them.
Right. Like Moore, I thought was okay for a rookie 4th-round pick starting last year, but wasn't like amazing.
They didn't really know what to do with him, I think.
Certainly, the defense was also changing as the year was going on when they fired Steve Wilkes and they were trying to do more man looks and stuff. It was a whole mess, the Jets defense. So it's hard to fully evaluate.
They were blitzing the most and never getting any sacks.
Yeah. So it's hard to fully evaluate any of those guys on defense, at least in the secondary. But, I'm certainly not at all confident that anybody that the Jets drafted in 2025 is a long-term starter outside of Membu. I think Taylor has a chance to be that, like probably the best of any of those guys. But I mean, you look at the rest of that class, there's a few Arian Smith's a whiff. Tyler Barron's a whiff. Kiko Malinoa looks like a backup special teams linebacker. And I know these are all like day 3 picks, but
yeah, I don't want to be, he whiffed on Tyler Barron and fired the guy,
But it'd be nice to hit on one of those guys. It'd be nice if you drafted a guy on day 3 that was looking like an actual like starter, and maybe Malachi Moore is that. But even that, I think it's stretching it to say he looks like a starter.
I don't think he'll play much this year, but I think Darryl Jackson could be that guy.
Could be. Well, yeah. And again, when we're talking about Darren Muji's future, a year out from when we should be talking about it, it's impossible to evaluate him because we can't even evaluate any of the moves he made this offseason. We have 2 off seasons to evaluate him on. The first off season, they barely did anything, right? They were completely tearing it down. So they had 2 players they signed to multi-year contracts. One of them was Justin Fields. The other was Brandon Stevens. Their draft class doesn't look great. That's the biggest like data point we have to evaluate Muji right now. Outside of the stuff that is like, boy, we really like these moves, but we'll see what happens. I guess the other data points you could point to is like the Harrison Phillips trade, Jawan Briggs trade, even Brownlee trade, I think looks pretty good. And then getting superb value for Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams.
T'Vondre Sweat for Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, but as far as like tangibly improving the roster, this is the offseason. This past offseason is when he tried to do that the most. We haven't seen the results of that yet. Like, we haven't seen the results of signing DeMario Davis and trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick and bringing in Joseph Osai and David Onyemata and Kingsley Enagbari and David Bailey and Omar Cooper Jr. and Kenyon Sneak. Like, they had so many additions to the roster this offseason. We don't know what that's going to look like yet.
I also don't like just firing the GM and not like keeping one of them around, because then you become the Titans. Where like the GM hires a coach and then you fire the GM and the coach picks the GM and then they around and around we go kind of thing.
It's certainly not an ideal practice. I would love it if they can just both work out, obviously.
Well, that can't happen, Justin. It's the Jets.
No, of course not. But either way, you need to feel good about the coaching staff. Like, to put a bow on that, you need to feel good about the coaching staff going into 2027, that they can be the ones to help develop this young quarterback, right? And maybe it's not even Glenn, that obviously, because Glenn is not the guy that would be directly responsible for that. And I'm assuming Reich is not a long-term answer at offensive coordinator. I don't think he's going to be the offensive coordinator 3 years from now, Frank Reich. Like, I can't foresee many scenarios where that would be the case, even 2 years from now, right? But you want to feel good about the infrastructure in place. You want to feel good about the locker room dynamics. You want to feel good about Glenn's ability to identify talent and then to develop that talent and maximize the talent on the roster. And you don't feel that way after year 1. At least I certainly don't feel that way. He has an opportunity to prove that he can be that guy after year 2, but it's going to take winning some games, and it's going to take doing exactly what I just said. It's going to take maximizing the talent on this roster, and we've not seen him do that yet.
Quiz time.
Let's do a quiz, Mike. Thank you to Brian Sternbach once again. He is the one who submitted this. We have done 2 of these quizzes already now in the past. And, first one I thought we did really good, Mike. These are just general Jets trivia, but I think the way Brian puts it together is very fun. But quiz 2, we, wasn't our best work. I'll say we've had better days than how we performed on quiz 2. But feel free to play along and chat as well if you want to put your answers in there. But and yeah, thank you again to Brian for putting this together. Mike, are you ready to get quiz 3 started? 39 slides. God damn.
That was a lot.
Let's get it going. So we were huge ass and then Seymour Butts, right? So who are we with?
BO problem? I don't know.
No, we got to stick with the ass theme. I don't know. We'll be It'll be
We could just have Seymour Butts try to redeem himself.
Maybe that's it. Seymour Butts Jr. We're gonna be Seymour Butts the second. Seymour Butts second, and he's gonna look like this. Oh boy!
Oh my God! Whoa!
Seymour Butts. Seymour Butts. This is his sister, Seymour Butts. There we go.
What is it? Cool. Winged eyeliner?
I have no idea, but that's who we are. We're her. All right, let's do it. I'm kind of nervous, Mike. First 25 questions, multiple choice. And then after that, we're going to get like free response questions, which is crazy. All right. First 25, multiple choice. Let's do this. How many games involving the Jets did Ryan Fitzpatrick play in? Okay. So he started, I believe, all 16 games.
Involving the Jets, though. That also counts against him.
Oh, my God. When he was with like the Bills and shit and other. Oh, dude. I got no idea then. Well, there's at least 16. Then he came back in 2016 and was benched halfway through the year. I don't know how many games.
I'm going to say 44 because he was with their in Buff. No, 37. Because he was with Buffalo for a couple of years, but he was just in the league for so long.
Well, he started at least like 24 games with the Jets.
Honestly, there's no way we'll
say 37.
We're going to analyze it. It's got to be.
Oh,
it was 44.
40. How many games against the Jets did he play? 30 games for the Jets as a starter. Wow. He played 13 games.
30 games. That's more than I remember him playing.
That is more than I remember. I agree with that. Which players recorded the most sacks? We're off to a flying start.
Sacks against the Jets.
Most sacks against the Jets ever. Jesus Christ. Well, it's probably not Myles Garrett. It's got to be
Bruce Smith was just there for so long.
It's got to be either Jason Taylor or Cam Wake because it's got to be division, right?
No, Bruce Smith was in the division.
Oh, Bruce Smith as well.
And he's got the all-time sack leader. He was there for 15 years.
All right, then we'll say Bruce Smith.
It's got to be right.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good work. Yeah, that makes sense.
31
sacks against the Jets. Most of any player.
Never gets talked about as the all-time great he is. Bruce Smith is awesome.
Most sacks against any player against any team. That's crazy.
Most sacks of anybody. So yeah.
How many times have the Jets scored 3 or more offensive touchdowns in a game during the 2020s?
Oh God.
Jeez, dude.
Oh come on.
I have no idea. The number ones are so hard, man. I don't know.
Well, because there's like no data point we can use to knock it down.
3 or more touchdowns. Do we remember how many? Like, I don't know. We'll say 20. I feel like
that B was to a different question.
I'm gonna say 20. I'm gonna say it's the least. I think it's
the most.
No, I think it's real shit. Oh, 27.
I thought it was gonna be like right with B.
There you go. Well, we're off to a flying start right now.
I've done it 56 times.
Nice. Double. Literally more than double what the Jets have done, which is 27. Wonderful. We're off to a great start here. We're killing it. How many individual players were involved in Jets trades in the 2025 calendar year? Okay. Harrison Phillips, Juwan Briggs, Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, Jermaine Johnson, Jarvis Brownlee. That's at least 6 right there.
T'Vondre Sweat.
That was in 2025. Oh, then take out Jermaine.
Calendar year, yeah.
Take out Jermaine then. Take out Jermaine. So it's 5. Jasir Taylor is 6. That's a pull. Michael Carter is 7. Mechie's 8. Adonai Mitchell's 9.
Okay, we're 10 or 11.
Yeah. Well, clearly, yeah. Who else? We
got to pick, man.
I think it's 11. Yes.
Hey, all right. Okay. Finally got one right.
We were actually able to, who were the other 2 players we missed? Mozzie Smith. And
Derek Nottie.
Oh, Derek. Okay, I wasn't going to get to Derek Nottie.
Derek Nottie's not an NFL player.
I wasn't going to get to Derek Nottie. Which of the following players was drafted with the highest pick? Okay. All third rounders we're doing.
Is that it?
Yeah, they're all third rounders.
I think.
I don't know which one was highest. I think Edoga was in the 70s. Davis was.
I think it's.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you about Mo Lewis. I don't know when Mo Lewis was drafted.
Was Mo Lewis even a 3rd round pick?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I think it's Mo Lewis.
Yeah, you think he was a 2nd round pick, or just higher?
I think he's just higher.
All right, we'll go Mo Lewis. Hey, good stuff. He might have been. He actually might have been a 2nd round pick. Let's see. 63rd. Davis was 68.
Oh, but that was less teams.
No, Edoga was
the first pick of the 3rd round.
That's a good idea.
Edoga was the Texans.
I was off. Edoga was 92. Which of the following players was drafted with the lowest pick? Okay, sure, let's do it. So 5th round.
It's not Allen. It's not Hansen.
No, wait. Yeah, Hansen was.
They were 4th round.
They were both 4th rounders. Yeah, you're right. Carter. No.
It's Carter or Sherwood.
Carter. So Carter was drafted. They drafted Michael Carter.
Were they the same year?
They were the same draft.
No?
They were the same draft. They were 2021. It was Michael Carter the first, and then they took a player, and then they took Michael Carter the second. And I think that player in between them was Sherwood. So I think it's
no. I think it was Carter, someone else, Carter the second, Sherwood.
Yeah, you think so? Who was the middle between them two then? Pinnock or something?
I don't know. I think it's Sherwood.
All right, we'll go Sherwood then. I thought it was Carter. It's Carter. Yeah, I think it was Sherwood in between the two.
Was it?
Yeah. Yep, 146th, and they were the same draft.
Okay.
All right, you owe me one now.
I thought there was someone in between.
Who is the Jets' highest drafted player from UCLA? Oh,
from UCLA.
Well, it's not Darnold.
Well, not Darnold. It's not Keyshawn.
Not Keyshawn
Freeman
either.
McNeil went 3. Freeman McNeil.
Yeah, I don't even know who Johnny Lynn is. I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't tell you who Johnny. But these guys went to USC, so we know it's not them. I don't know who Johnny Lynn is.
Not the right answer. So.
McNeil was 3rd overall. I didn't know that.
Was George Rogers went 1, who was a running back who won the Heisman. Lawrence Taylor went 2, and then
it was 98th.
Not Lawrence Taylor, but pretty good player.
Sure.
McNeil.
Well, but yeah, absolutely. Which university is accounted for the most Jets AFL NFL draft? Oh, wow. So, I mean,
these are like the 4, them and Notre Dame.
I kind of want to say Alabama, just going back to like Namath, but
Ohio State, maybe
over the years, because Alabama didn't get really good until like, the Saban era.
No, Bear Bryant.
Bear Bryant. You're right.
What are you talking about?
You're right. But there was a dark period in there.
Yeah, it was when Mike Price got fired for going to a strip club before he even coached a game.
I don't think it's Penn State.
Ohio State.
We'll say Ohio State. We could say we'll say Ohio State. It's a shot in the dark. Oh wow, it's Penn State. Hackenberg, Olu Fashanu. Sure.
28, not even close. Wow.
Oh my
Nebraska,
God.
Yeah.
Way up there. 28. Holy shit.
Late round picks, local guys. They don't
Blair Thomas. Yeah. Out of the 67 universities currently in the Power 4 in football, how many have never produced?
We both did it at the same time. And
did we really? I can't even see you.
I hate
how
myself.
many have never produced a Jets draft pick? Oh my God, I've absolutely no clue. Completely.
Because they're all similar. Like there's
no idea. Could you even think of one? Like, when's the last
out of 67?
When's the last Vanderbilt player the Jets have drafted?
I'm sure, but one ever. There has to. You know what I mean? Like, let's just go 2.
Sure, why not? When in doubt, pick C. That's
B.
Who is it? What do you think it is? I'm going to say Vanderbilt. If I pulled Vanderbilt, that's insane. Oh, we're going to go to this later.
Oh, come
on.
One
from the who's the CFL? Oh, Quantez Stiggers, obviously.
Oh, I was going to say Shepard, but no.
Stiggers. Who is the most recent Jets player to score multiple touchdowns in the same game? I think it's Devontae Adams.
Possess the ball in the end zone. Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, Justin Fields did it week 1 last year. Did Brees do it at all last year?
No, did Isaiah, he had the 2
he have 2
2 returns in the same game, right?
He had 2 touchdowns in the same game?
Nwangu had 1 in the Browns game.
No. He didn't have 2 in the same game. Dude, what if it's Isaiah Davis? No, he didn't score
Fields.
2. It's either Fields or Hall. We'll say
no,
Fields.
Did he not run for 2? That's the thing.
Oh. Shit.
Yeah, Brees.
You're right. When did Brees do it last year? But it's crazy. Like that. It's crazy that that's even an anomaly.
Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals. He did have 2 in week 1.
And he threw 1 with the Bengals too. That was his.
Oh yeah, Brees. Yeah, he did. How many total touchdowns
have Jets tight ends scored during the 2020? Oh God,
it's not many. Not including primary fullbacks. So I guess like a Beck.
Conklin didn't have any one year, I remember.
Yeah, Rucker had his first last year.
I think it might just be 11.
It might be 11. We'll say the fewest. Wow, 19. Goodness. I don't know, man. We have no frame of reference. There's no
Conklin had 7. Chris Herndon and Uzama had 3.
Griffin had 2. 4 others have 1.
I forgot Uzama had 3.
I forgot Uzama existed. Among players drafted by the Jets, who is the franchise leader in points scored? Oh, we've had this, didn't we? This is John Hall.
Drafted by the Jets was Pat Leahy.
Oh, drafted by the Jets. Well,
I still think it's Pat Leahy.
He was drafted by the Jets, right, Leahy? Sure. I mean, Leahy's the all-time leader. He was not drafted by the Jets? Was he undrafted? Was Leahy really not drafted? Wow. Yeah, I knew Folk was not with
the
Jets.
Wesley Walker, the receiver. Jeez.
That's crazy. Damn. Among players not drafted by the Jets, who's the franchise leader in solo tackles. So not drafted.
Mo Lewis was.
So drafted by the Jets. Okay, so Victor Green's the only one who was drafted by the
Who had
Jets.
more tackle, Mosley or Quincy?
Calvin Pace was there longer than both, though.
But he was like an edge rusher.
Yeah, but he was there for
Victor
a while.
Green is.
Green was drafted by the Jets, no?
Oh, he was?
I think so. I only remember him playing for the Jets.
Oh, my God. You don't get a lot of time on these questions.
No. Mosley, no. Mosley had the opt-out.
I can't even.
Mosley missed his. I'm going to say Calvin Pace. He was there longer than Quincy and Mosley. I'm saying Pace.
All right.
Unless it's Victor Green and we just don't realize he wasn't drafted. He was drafted by who was he drafted by?
Undrafted, probably.
Was he undrafted? Was Victor Green undrafted? I actually didn't. I'm looking that up really quick.
That's a lot.
Not Vector Green. What the fuck is that?
Which of the following
he was undrafted. Victor Green was
appeared
undrafted.
in the most games as a member of the Jets?
There's the Jets logo. Or the Jets thing. Powell was there for a decade.
But was he hurt?
No, he had 1 year where he had a neck injury. But
I don't think it's Powell. Or was Mickens there for?
I don't know how long. I don't think Mickens was there for a decade.
I think it's Powell.
Glenn wasn't there for a decade. Cottrey wasn't. I think it's Powell. Powell was there for literally 10 years or 9 years. Come on. How long was Mickens there? Damn, man. That don't count. He was there before we were born. Powell 109? Glenn was more than Powell? Glenn Powell. Nice. Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
This is awful. We're doing terrible. This is horrific.
This one's harder. This is the hardest one.
Which of the following players has appeared in the fewest games as a member of the Jets? There's the one Jet. God.
Oh, man. Jeez.
Barrios got there in 2020. All right.
Thomas was there for a couple years.
McGovern started 3 years, and then he came back briefly.
But appeared, not just started.
Yeah, I know. He also got hurt, McGovern.
I think it's Solomon Thomas.
Sure. Why not? It might be Tony Adams, actually.
We got to pick.
I'm picking Tony Adams. I'm so sorry, Mike.
You fool!
Okay. I that was the one I got after you messed up the other one. Okay. Now we're
fool.
even. Was I close? Adams 53. Damn. That was close. Adams was the second fewest. Who was the most recent Jets player to appear in a game while wearing the number 40? Javelin Guidry. Well, that is Javelin Guidry right there. Oh my God, Nick Needham.
McCrary Ball, though, did he ever wear 40? No, he wore 41.
No, he didn't wear 40 with the Jets.
Needham.
I don't know if Needham played a game with them. He was a corner they had last year, briefly. He was a former Dolphins corner. It's not Guidry. Joseph wore a number in the 40s. I don't know what number it was. I think it might be Nick Needham.
Are you sure it's not Guidry?
No. I'm gonna say Needham. Let's go.
Hey, all right.
He was with the team last year, and I guess he appeared in a game. I think it was last year. He was with them. Yep, one game for the Jets last year. It must have been like week 18, because he was a corner. I think he was with the Dolphins. They signed him to the practice squad. Don't ask why I remember that. Who is the last Jets QB to wear number 3 with the team?
Must have appeared. So not Jordan Travis, because he never appeared.
That's right. Oh, boy. Oh, what number was David Fales? Holy shit.
Was he number 3? Because it's Rick Meyer wore 3, I think, his whole career.
It's either 3 or 8. I actually just saw
It's not Tim Boyle.
I actually just saw a picture of David Fales in a Jets jersey. Don't ask why. But I just saw that. And it's either 3 or 8 that Fales wore. I think it was 8.
I think it's Fales. It's Fales. It's Fales.
I apologize.
No!
Oh, he played 8 snaps. I apologize.
Rick Meyer was just so long ago.
It was, but I thought it was the trick. I'm sorry. I was already clicking it. I'm sorry. Which Jet holds the record for most scrimmage touchdowns in a game? Select all that apply. God, I don't know. Don Maynard probably had like 4 in a game.
4 touchdowns. Did Martin ever have 4 in a a game? Or Wesley Walker get hot in some like Ken O'Brien shootout?
There's no shot it's Matt Forte. I think it's at least Maynard. It is all that apply. It could be multiple. It's probably multiple. You want to say Martin and Maynard?
Has there ever been a multiple on one of these, or?
I think once before.
Go ahead.
All right, let's do it. If we got this right, that's... Oh, it's just Walker. It's neither of them. That's great. What did he have? 4 in a game?
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that one. I was negative 12 years
Ken
old.
O'Brien and Marino were getting these just shootouts.
Sure. whatever.
If Ken O'Brien played the Dolphins
alive.
every week, it would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Which Jet holds the record for most sacks in a game? That's interesting, actually. McDonald had a game of 3, right? Last year.
Gastineau ever get like 5 in a game or something?
No way, it's Adams. It's not Adams.
I think it's Gastineau.
Probably. Gastineau or Abraham.
I mean, Gastineau had the record, so.
Gastineau makes the most. If it's like Gastineau and Abraham, I'm going to be a little annoyed. Oh my God. It's just 3. Is the answer 3?
I think it is.
All 3 of them had 3. They had 4.
Oh, they all had 4.
When did McDonald have 4?
That was the Browns game last year.
I thought he had 3. I don't remember.
I knew he had 4. I didn't know that was the record. I thought.
Well, I mean, if you knew he had 4 out there.
Oh, Sadiq.
Yes, that is currently
Kenyon
that is Kenyon Sadiq right there, and he wears 16 unless he's switched.
No, he's 16.
Okay, cool. That was even. They gave us an image. That's a picture of Kenyon Sadiq right there. What did I was gonna say? Tim Patrick. He's 17. Okay. I knew it wasn't McNamara or Williams.
Did he do that on purpose? 16 for the draft slot because he was 18 in college.
He might have. Which jersey number does Tippmann? Tippmann is 66. Tippmann is 66. There we go. We got those. Give us those. We got those. What number does Michael Walker wear? I'll tell you.
Are they like assigned randomly? Because I feel like a lot of times they give you the easy ones to start. These are like almost random order.
I don't know. Jets drafted Abdul Salam out of which Ohio University? It's like,
Kent State.
Is it Kent State?
Yeah.
You know that for a fact?
No, but I think it is.
Okay. I feel like I'm like the Kent State aficionado here. I feel like I should know that. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Wow. I feel like I should have known that.
Only one since Salam. Was it Brian Winters?
Yes, he was drafted at Kent State. Third round.
That was the pretty good success rate with.
Yeah, they also had Dree Archer.
They had
Dree Archer briefly. Who was the most recent Jet to win AFC Defensive Player of the Week? Well, surely McDonald won it.
Was it Whitehead the week?
Wait, McDonald didn't win it when he had 4 sacks.
Was it the Josh Allen? Remember the week 1 with the Bills when he got the picks?
Yep, he had 2 picks on Allen or whatever.
Was that him?
I don't know if Gardner would have won it.
I don't think because they do picks a lot, so it wouldn't have been him.
Did McDonald win it? I guess he didn't win it with the Browns game, huh?
No.
We'll say Whitehead. Nice.
Oh, now we're on a roll.
Good pull. There we go. All right, good pull, Mike. Good pull. We're killing it now. There we go.
Yeah, that was that. He didn't even play good that game, but he just Josh Allen threw the ball right to him twice.
Yeah. All right. How many takeaways did the Jets have during the 20? Oh, okay. It's 4. They had 4.
4 because
they had 3 on defense and then 1 the Falcons special teams blunder. All right.
And that's just because we were discussing that on the show. So that,
Now we're crushing it. It's 31st with 10. The Jets had 4. Good God. Which QB has the best passer rating all time versus the Jets? Ooh, minimum 100 passes.
Well, it's not Brady because he had enough.
So really, at least 3 or 4 starts.
I don't think Dak
at least 3
played
starts.
The Jets enough to.
Yeah,
I think it might be Russ.
It could be. I don't know. I mean, it could just be Brady, but
Matt Ryan. Did the Falcons ever just crush the Jets back then?
I feel like they actually did.
I think it's Russ or Matt Ryan.
We'll say Matt Ryan.
It was Russ. Come on.
Now, what you said at the beginning, we got to trust our gut instinct.
Yeah.
That was your gut. We should have trusted
Andy
it.
Dalton is second on the list ahead of Dak. Okay. So Dak did qualify.
Andy Dalton, future New York Jets quarterback, Andy Dalton. All right, value the range.
This is like the range.
Yep. I remember these. Have we gotten any of these right? I think like 1.
We got a couple, like not dead on, but like in the range of acceptability.
So we're due. How many games did the Jets win after the U.S. last hosted the Men's World Cup? So that was 94. Yep, 94. So how many games did they win?
So that's 32 years.
Wait, so how many was it? Wait, what?
What?
Oh, is it just the year? So is it just 94?
Then it would be
the 94 season then.
Yeah, so that would be 3.
Was it 3 games they won in 94?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Wait.
no, that was 95. You're thinking
That was 95.
Yeah, it was 95. Yeah,
That
you're
was
thinking
Pete
95.
Carroll
I
year.
was gonna say, yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. It was Pete Carroll was 94. Yep.
Oh, I keep thinking Kotite was 94, 95,
No,
and
no,
not
he was 95, 96. Go
95, 96. Okay.
Which year did Rich Samini join the Jets beat? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
the year 2000 BC.
I'm pretty sure it's the late 80s. I actually think it's the late 80s. I think it's like 89 or 88.
Yeah, I'd say so. That sounds
say,
about right.
Let's say 88. What if we got this spot on? I feel like that's a good guess. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was 89. I knew it. I knew it. I said it was one of those years. I feel like I've seen him say that somewhere. Damn, that's crazy. He's been at ESPN since 2010.
Damn, Rich.
Good for Rich.
Good for Rich, man.
That's
we give
crazy.
him some shit sometimes, but good for Rich.
He's great. What is the Jets' record for all-purpose touchdowns by a single player in a season?
So it's probably a running back.
Probably Curtis Martin. You would assume this is Curtis Martin. I mean, it's all-purpose. It's got to be a lot.
21 sounds like a fair amount. Because he was never a great receiver.
Yeah. He probably had a year where he had like 16 touchdowns or 15 rushing touchdowns. Oh, damn. No way. 15?
That's the
Wait,
most
is that Brandon?
ever?
Is that Brandon Marshall?
Thomas Jones.
Didn't Marshall have close to that too?
He had 14.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Wow. Only 15 is crazy, actually. Brees can break that if they had a functional offense.
Which is
what is the Jets' record for passing and rushing touchdowns in a single season? Passing and like as a team combined? Good God, I don't know. So how many offensive touchdowns basically?
No, wait. I'm just trying to think. 45.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Because you have to balance them out a little bit.
Let's roll with it. Maybe it's higher because those early Namath years. Nope, it's lower. Jesus Christ.
That's the most?
33 is the most they've had offensive touchdowns in a season. That's 2 a game, not even. Or
Fitzpatrick. Oh, like one guy. Oh.
I thought you were talking
okay.
team.
We misread that. I thought it was like total.
Same. Okay.
Okay, that's our fault.
How many third-round picks have the Jets used in the last 10 drafts? Last 10 drafts.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. How many years did they not have a third-round pick?
13. Because they've made a couple.
Well, they didn't have one.
Yeah, but there's been a couple years where they had like Idoga and Ashton Davis where they get a couple to make up for it.
They didn't have one this year.
Let's go 12.
You think it's that many? I feel like it's less than 10. I think it's less than 10.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say 8. I think it's less than 10.
If it's exactly 12, I'm leaving the show.
Valid. Haha. It was
okay. All right.
All right. I figured it was less than 10.
Price is right to me. Oh, we didn't even get credit for that. Oh, this one's exact.
Oh my God.
Oh,
come on, bro.
All that big shit.
Now free response. Now we got free response. All right. We're 10 points. This is when we just start spamming names, right? This is kind of that.
This is this. All right.
Spam name territory. As of July 2026.
Who caught the Jets' most recent interception?
Full name required. So it'd be end of 2024.
Jermaine Johnson.
Is it Jermaine? No.
Damn it.
Shit. End of 2024. So like a DJ Reed, Michael Carter,
TJ Mosley.
Sure. Quincy Williams, Ashton Davis. Maybe it might be Ashton Davis. Let's go. Yeah,
it's Ashton Davis.
Let's go. Was that against Miami? I think he might have done that. Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Jermaine, I thought it was the pick 6 of Flacco.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep. Which player scored the Jets' final touchdown in the 2022 season? Oh God.
Come on.
So 2022, this is Brees was hurt. So who was playing? Michael Carter, Bam Knight, Ryan Griffin.
Conklin.
Was he there yet? I don't know if he was. Curse was gone.
For a while.
Who were some of the receivers? Keelan Cole, is that 2022? Who were some of the receivers in that team? 2022. Robbie's gone by then, so it's Barrios.
Chosen.
No, he's gone by then, Robbie, by 2022.
No, Chosen. His preferred
name. He's gone. Yeah, sure. He's gone, though. Maybe it's just like Zach Wilson ran it in. Who else is in that wide receiver room?
Ruckert? No.
No, he didn't score a touchdown until this year. Kyrie Robinson would briefly play with the team.
Nah, I don't know.
Jones, Smith, Brown, CJ
Just
Uzama.
Just guess the most generic.
That's what I was doing. Yeah. That's
Smith,
exactly what I was
Johnson.
doing. God, it's only 2 touchdowns in week 15. They didn't score a touchdown about 3 games of the year. What a disgrace.
I can see why they got rid of LaFleur.
Which Jets player holds the record for most receiving yards per game?
Per game. Now, is this like...
I mean, I'm going to say like Wesley Walker. Extra time allotted. Okay. Per game.
But like, does this count as like qualified? Or like, if you played 5 games and went crazy?
Is this in a season?
Maynard.
I mean, is this in a season or in a career? It doesn't say.
Marshall.
No, I think it's going to be someone more low-key. Like, it could be like a Robbie Anderson. Who was just going deep? I'm sorry, most receiving yards per game. I was thinking per catch. Receiving yards per game. But Marshall's a good guess then.
Well, it could be a guy who played for half a year and just had
I'm assuming it could be Devontae Adams. Oh. It's not Garrett. George Sauer.
If it's not Maynard, I don't know who it could be.
Altoon. Oh.
Yeah, he played for a while.
Rob Moore.
Did anybody like get hot and then get hurt and never play?
Keyshawn Johnson. Coles. Moss.
Edwards.
No, it's not Edwards.
I don't know.
Crowder.
You got a better idea?
Jamison Crowder. Goodness gracious.
It's gonna be some guy who played for 6 games in the 70s.
No way. That'd be absurd. That'd be stupid.
But if it's not, we just named like the top 15 receivers
Malone.
In Jets history.
It's Brandon Smith. It's Josh Malone. That's who it is. It's what was that guy's name? Tariq Black played 1 game for the Jets. That's what this is. I don't know who is it.
Not a tight end.
Who did we not? I said Adams.
We put Adams.
Oh,
full name required. Justin.
Bro, I know chat was screaming.
I could have read that too. I'm sorry.
I know chat was screaming. There's Brian saying, and you need to type the full name. Oh
no.
my God. So sorry. What was the final score? The Jets last
victory over the
Titans.
Does it matter anymore? We read it wrong.
I'm embarrassed. What was the final score of the Jets' last victory over the Titans? Oh God. Was it this? Who is this? It's the Will Levis game. That's right. When he like threw the ball. Oh,
he did that a lot in that game. Yeah,
that was Zach Wilson. That was Zach Wilson, Corey Davis game. 28-21.
4-17. No, you got to do 0. Like you got to do the.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Mike, let's go. Good.
You got to see. I read the questions.
I don't read. I can't read. It's tough.
Brian said we get credit for that because he heard us say Devontae.
All right, we'll take it.
So just add like 700 points or whatever to our final score.
I will say when I said Adams, I was like, this is probably right. Which current? Oh, here it is. All right, we got a lot of guesses at this though.
Only Power 4.
We got a lot of guesses.
So you said Vanderbilt.
Kentucky, Tennessee. I'm sure there's some names that we're just not thinking of, but Rutgers. No, they've definitely done
Mississippi State.
Ole Miss.
Maryland.
Yeah, who are the most obscure Power 4 schools? Who's even BYU? Oh, fuck, that's a stupid guess.
Oh my God!
Ignore me. Ignore that stupid.
Current
guess.
Power 4.
Yeah, current Power 4. So it could be including like
Cincinnati, obviously no.
SMU and yeah.
Stanford.
Nah, they must.
Cal.
No, it's got to be Ashton Davis. It's got to be like.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be shittier, like Duke.
Boston College.
I was about to say Indiana. Fucking stupid.
Illinois. I really thought it was that Illinois. Indiana, Purdue.
That's a good one.
Minnesota. No.
That's probably a UCF. I was going to say
UCF.
That's what I was going to say. It's probably one of the newer Power 4 schools. Like they're a new Big 12 school. Yeah, that's
UCF,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. They're a new Big 12 school. Yeah, I guess they wouldn't have drafted. Can we think of anybody who played for the Jets that went to UCF?
I don't know. Final question, double points.
Double points. We can redeem ourselves, Mike. Here we go.
I feel like we could have got to UCF eventually, though.
Maybe. Who was the first? I actually forgot they were.
Ever mentioned on the first ever Jet Press podcast.
Oh, this is great, Brian. This is so
It's got to be Zach or Mike White because it was about Mike LaFleur getting fired. So it's got to be Zach.
It's got to be Zach.
I'm going to guess Zach.
That's an incredible poll, Brian. Oh, I love it.
I
mean, Zach's the obvious one. Strevler's the ultimate wild card. We'll say Zach. But it totally could be Mike White.
got to be one of those two.
We'll say Zach. Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Zach Wilson, thank you for something. That's
of course it was.
Yeah, we were talking Mike LaFleur. Oh, I love that.
Because that was our first podcast. We said, hey, don't fire Mike LaFleur. And then the podcast ended and they fired Mike LaFleur.
Oh, we give this a 5-star. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Even though we struggled. Seymour Butts.
Jeez.
That we ended up, we actually like kind of.
Can you like check scores of past quizzes?
How do I go back to?
I want to see like where that ranked. One of the other ones. AI quiz? No way.
My reports. Currently
this is a boost feature.
I don't know what I'm doing. Fuck it, we're doing it live. I don't know what I'm doing right now.
What? Oh god. Okay.
Wait, what was down there? I didn't know.
There's something bad on the. Okay, there.
Was there really? I didn't see.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't see. I didn't know it was bad. I didn't see. I'm gonna have to watch that back. I didn't see what it was.
Oh no.
Well, that's all right. We're fine. It was there for half a second. I don't know what it was. All right. Well, I don't know how to see the scores, but whatever. That was fun. That was very fun. Thank you for creating that again, Brian. The full name was prevented from typing. Well, that is exactly what I was doing before, which was the Smith, Johnson, and Brown thing. Exactly. How do you know what I normally do when I play Sporkle quizzes? How did you know? Yards per game is not a qualified stat. Yeah. No. I guess fair.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Brian, that was great. Thank you so much, buddy. I think we did all right on that one. I think it was better than the second one. We definitely did. We found our groove midway through. Once we were getting to like the jersey numbers, we're like, okay, now we kind of got this. Could have done better. We should read more, I think is a lesson coming out of this. But ultimately, I think we did good, Mike. How do you feel? How do you feel we did?
Feel free to take us home here, Justin.
Take us home, yeah. By the way, my cat, not the one that was on my lap, my other cat, I have two cats. My other one threw up midway through this recording, and now the room TMI.
Okay, so Justin's got to go.
Now the room I'm in smells a little bit like it because I didn't get a chance to clean it up. So thanks, Munchkin. Thank you for that. So I've been suffering, just so you know, I've been suffering this last like 25 minutes. Anyway.
That's why you couldn't read. You're nauseous.
Yeah, exactly. The fumes were getting to me. That's what it was, Mike. They were going straight to my head. But anyway, thank you all for joining us on the show today. You can follow Mike on Twitter at Mike Luciano. Follow me on Twitter, Justin T. Fried. Follow Jeff Press. Download the Jeff Press podcast wherever you get your podcast. Check us out on YouTube and TikTok. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can also become a member today. It is much appreciated. We stream live every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you again to Brian Sternbach for making this quiz and all the 3 quizzes that he's made. They have been a joy. I have enjoyed playing them. I'm sure you have as well, Mike. I'm very excited that football is actually starting very soon. And this time next week, we'll have some maybe actual training camp stuff because rookies report on the 25th. So we might actually have something to talk about. And then soon enough, it's the preseason. Steve asks, can Gino hit our open dudes? Probably not. Thank you all for listening to Jeff Press Podcast. I've been Justin Fried. That is Mike Luciano. We'll see you guys next time.
Continuing the optimism.
Of course.